In this first video I want to show how to analyze an image with our new Shiny app MultiFlow. The Shiny app is part of an R package, so for working with our app you would have to install R, and after you have installed R you can install our package by using the code which is shown here. Now when you have installed everything, here I work with RStudio, which is a nice interface to R, integrated development environment for R. The next step is that you can now load our app, run our app. And for the purpose of this video, I will just use the sample image, which is also part of our package. It's an image of an essay which is a two-color essay, so we have used green and red quantum dots in this case. And on this case here, in this case here, you see a grayscale image of the red color channel here. And the first step, what we have to do is we have to crop the region of interest here. And what you also see here in this case is that we have not photographed the strips strip per strip, but we have done it in batches of 3. And so this is what we see here. So we have an image with 3 strips, so we have to set the number of strips to 3 here in this case. And so now this is the cropping region we have selected, and the idea or the goal here should be that the line is roughly in the middle of each of these segments. So we need to modify a little bit here to improve the situation maybe a little bit. So okay, now everything is roughly in the middle. The segments in the middle here, the segments between 2 lines, they can be used for background correction for our quantile method. So it's important that no part of the line is inside of this segment here. We will, in our quantile method, we compute the background by taking a quantile of the pixel intensities of this of such a segment. Now when this is fine, we apply crop, and we see the region of interest again. Now when you apply segmentation, the image will be segmented into these 9 segments per strip. So we have 3 segments for the first strip, 3 for the second, and 3 for the third. If you're not happy with the cropping, you would have to upload the image again. Now here it's fine, so we apply segmentation, and this will bring us to the next tab of our app. Now in this tab of the app, the first step is to select the strip, so the strip we want to analyze. If we would have a color image, then we would have to convert the image first. Here we have different options, like using the grayscale or using just one of the color channels. And the next step is then selecting a threshold method, where we found out that Otsu is working quite well for such lines, and so we have chosen it as the default method here in our app. So we apply the threshold. So now we get 2 rows of images. In the first row, the white area indicates the region of the foreground, and the black is the background. And now we subtract the background values from the foreground values, and this gives us this background subtracted images which you see in the second line. Based on these background subtracted images, so only on the region here, on the foreground region, we calculate the mean intensities and the median intensities. So we get a mean 1 for the band 1, and we get a mean 2 for the band 2, and we get a median 1 for the band 1, and the median 2 for the band 2. If we are happy with it, then we can add to the data. Next is here we can analyze the second strip, use the same setting, apply the threshold, add it to the data. Then we analyze the third strip, apply the same threshold method, and add it to the data. Of course, you can also go back to the first strip, change the setting. For instance, here go for the quantile method in the background correction, apply threshold, and then you see, okay, 99% quantile is maybe too high in this case. We reduce it maybe to 95%. We apply again, still too high. Let's reduce it a little bit more. Okay, that looks fine. Now we have found the quantile, which gives us a nice identification of the lines, and we add it to the data. We do the same with strip 2, apply the same setting and add it to the data. Strip 3, same setting, add it to the data. When you are done here with this image, then we can go back, load the next image, crop it, segment it, and do the background correction, add it to the data. After we are done with all the images, we switch to the intensity data. Now here, this is the intensity data for this image where we have used this sample TIFF. The mode is empty here because we had a grayscale image, so we did not have to convert the image. We see the number of the ID of the strip, we see the background method, and in case of quantile we also have the quantile we have used for the background correction. Now if we are happy with this, then we should download the data to make sure that you really have the most recent version of the data. We see the most recent version of the data, you can refresh. Indeed, it was the most recent version here. Then you download the data, and now you can select an arbitrary folder for your data. Okay, in the next video I will explain how to proceed with the intensity data.